In this video I'm going to be showing you how to take your talking head YouTube setup from this to this. So first off, choose the right location. Now the chances are, like me, you're going to be using either an office, a spare room, a bedroom, so that will often dictate the actual geography of your setup. But for me, I'm using a rather small 96 square foot room. You want to aim to create as much depth as possible within the scene. For the camera, I'm using my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K with a 1.7 times speed booster and the 24-70 f2.8. But with the speed booster, this brings the lens down to an f2. I'm going to be stood up in my videos, so I'm placing the tripod so that the camera lens is about at my eye line and pushed back as far as possible. Now for me in this room, I actually sawed a hole in the wall. This isn't a requirement, by the way. I just really wanted to get just that extra little bit of depth, so had to be done. I'm gonna have the lens around about 50mm. I know that the wide angle look is quite popular on YouTube, but it's not a look that I'm personally a fan of, and certainly not for this setup. But there really isn't a right or wrong way to go about it. It's just whatever your personal preference is. Just be mindful that you might not be able to get as much out of focus in the background using a wider lens. Now let's introduce some light. I'm using an Aperture 120D for this. I start by putting it into position to get a general idea of where the light is going to be going and where the shadows fall. To diffuse the light, I'm using Dome softbox. This particular one is from Neewer, however you say it, but it's a pain to put up compared to Aperture's own softboxes, so I'd recommend spending that little bit of extra money if you can. As you can see, this softens the light considerably, but I'm not liking the hot spots that you're getting on my face, so I'm going to add another layer of diffusion inside the softbox. I'm just turning the brightness down slightly so that my face is nicely exposed. I'm liking the contrast that's being created from one side of my face to the other. However, I think it's a little bit too dark and moody, so let's introduce a little bit of fill light. I'm just going to be bouncing the light from our key to fill in those shadows. The idea is to create a more balanced image, not a flat image. Something like that looks okay. Lastly for me, I want to have a little bit of a rim light to help separate me from the background. Sometimes in my videos, my backlight is motivated by a practical light within the scene, such as a lamp, for example. This isn't essential, but it will take the setup to the next level. This LED panel is bi-colour, so I'm just warming it up a little bit. For my practical light, I'm using a dimmer switch so that it's not blown out and drawing unwanted attention to itself. Finally, I'm going to add some light colour to create some colour contrast with the warmer tones in the scene. I'm adding another LED panel with a gel to achieve this. I spend a little bit of time adjusting the positions of the lights as well as the intensity before I'm happy. And to be honest, I'm a little bit OCD, so I spend a lot of time doing this. To capture the audio, I've got a Rode NTG4 shotgun microphone going into a Zoom H5 that's boomed above and just in front of my head. If you place your hand like this and put your thumb on your forehead, where your little finger is, should roughly be where the shotgun microphone should sit. So there we have it. This is my current YouTube talking head setup that will probably last for about 5 minutes before I decide to change everything around again. Yes, that is a telephone box behind me. It's from a short film that I've just finished doing. Try and pretend that it's not there. Next week I'm going to be doing the same setup as this, but it's going to be on a really tight budget using very minimal gear, but hopefully we'll get close to the same quality. If you like the video and you think I deserve it, then please give the video a like. It really does help me out in beating the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment and let me know what your favourite YouTube setup is. Finally, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all of my future uploads. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.